Welcome to Confessions of Wannabe It Girl. Today's episode is dedicated to the late John Todd, my former ballet teacher. And this is a story that he actually once told me. The story starts with, he had some achievements already as a dancer, but he really wanted to get a better rep. I can't remember if it was agent or manager. And so he badgered the assistant and was very extremely persistent of getting this meeting with this rep. Finally, he gets on the schedule with this rep. And, he's in New York. He walks all down to the office. It's also note that John is and was extremely talented. So there is no doubt that the talent was in question. And he knew that. And he strutted on down to this rep's office, shows up, talks to the assistant, and the assistant says, "Actually, we don't have time for you today." And he said, "Excuse you?" And continued to be his charming, charismatic self, trying to smooth his way in. That did not work. So John Todd climbs the fire escape of the building that is next to the rep he wants window and starts singing from the window of this rep he is desiring to have, and sings lovely, sings great. And finally the rep stuck her head out the window and said, "Okay, fine, you can have the meeting." And that energy is a little bit called fake it till you make it. And this episode today, we are going to talk about faking it till you make it.
So you want to be an it girl?
So let's talk about the concept of faking it till you make it. All right. Honestly, it has kind of a negative connotation to it. A lot of people, when you hear fake it till you make it, people think con man, lying, sleazy, not an honest way of working your way up. That is kind of the negative side that I think people can think when they hear fake it till you make it. It's only recently has it become kind of Instagrammable. It usually is attached with cutting corners, being sleazy, and lying. And that is kind of the negative that people can think about it. What I think it actually is acting as if, being aware of your worth and work and being prepared to step into those situations that you want and know you will eventually have. Sort of a manifestation idea. That is what I think actually is what fake it till you make it is when it's flung around. And I know that fake it till you make it can come in a really offhanded comment. People will be like, "Oh, you just got to fake it till you make it," talking about dating or whatever. You're like, "Oh, I'm just not a good dater." And they're just like, "Fake it till you make it." Can seem very casual, but I think fake it till you make it can also be a huge idea of mentality. It can be very, very large in the idea of just understanding that you are living a life that you want to have, even though maybe you don't have every aspect of it already. So why do people say fake it till you make it to other people? Because I think people know that if you act as though you have it, it will eventually come. So they're like, "Oh, you already have it." When someone says it to you offhandedly, they're like, "Oh, you're going to get there." That's what they're really saying. They're saying you're going to get there. I believe you're going to get it. You just have to act like you're going to get there. I see the little bit of self-doubt in you. And I'm kind of calling that out in a cute way by saying, "Oh, you just got to fake it till you make it." That's why I think people actually will give the advice to someone else of saying, fake it till you make it. So where did the idea of faking it till you make it come from? Let's talk about that. From a very quick Google search, Tectello says, "Fake it till you make it is the most common piece of advice to get over those feelings of unworthiness, inadequacy, or self-doubt." And I think when you start to act that way and repeat it, you're tricking your brain, your body, your being, your emotional spiritness to believing that those things are happening. So let's continue to define fake it till you make it. From idioms.com, they define faking it till you make it, meaning the following: portraying yourself like the person you always wanted to become. Bringing yourself out of your comfort zone in order to achieve your targets. To adopt a behavior in which will lead you towards a better future. Challenging yourself to perform a task which you are not good at. Motivating ourselves to act in a different manner to meet our desired goals. That's from idioms.com. I think that's what we actually positively mean in the idea mentality of fake it till you make it. So let's talk about some misconceptions and how also it can maybe be misinterpreted. I think a lot of people think that fake it till you make it, you already have to have the confidence to fake it till you make it. But I actually personally believe the idea and concept behind fake it till you make it means you don't have the confidence of getting the thing. It is the idea of tricking yourself into believing that you have the confidence and to go for it. I don't think it's a requirement to already be that confident. You are going to fake being that confident to get the thing. Being confident will help you get it, but like just pretend for 1 second that you are confident to get it and it will start to come. I also think there's a huge part of fake it till you make it. Act naive. Act like you don't know better. You might have heard, oh, you can't do that until you've done XYZ. Okay, that's bullshit on some level. All the time people skip steps. People jump the ladder. Act dumb. Act like you don't know that these steps and barriers need to be crossed beforehand. There is a reason the phrase like, what is it? Naive is bliss, or like ignorance is bliss. That also applies to fake it till you make it. And sometimes we have to consciously tell ourselves, yes, in reality, I know that I need to have XYZ qualification before I can have ABCD thing. But like, just lie to yourself and pretend that you don't know those things and just move forward and keep going. Act dumb, because also, not the cutest thing maybe to say, but when you act dumb and you act as though you didn't know better, or if you actually didn't really know better, people are more likely to forgive you. Ask for forgiveness, don't ask for permission. And that goes very hand in hand with the naivete of fake it till you make it. A thing that I think people can think is negative about the idea of mentality of fake it till you make it is actually the word fake, because now we think fake people. We think, oh, you don't actually know how to do that. You're fake. You're fronting it. So that's where some of the negative connotation can come from, because we do throw around the word fake in relationship to like people we don't like or manners of things not working. We say, oh, that's so fake. But remove that kind of negativity of it, just saying and change it to, I just don't really have it yet, or I might not have it completely yet. Another negative side of this idea is how relying on this idea of faking it till you make it can lead to ethical concerns and poor decision making. I think some people will say fake it till you make it and thinks that just gives them invincibility complex and there's no consequence for their actions because they're just like, fake it till you make it. It's definitely like gives some people the idea to live in a really fast-paced life and none of it matters because there's no really consequences. That's not what we are trying to say. We are trying to say gain that confidence to live the life you want, not lie your way through it and make other people or other shitty decisions that have consequences affect you or other people. Like, it's just an idea of a mentality. It's not you should scam people out of money and whatnot. I mean, and people will crawl into deep, deep lies with this. Fake it till you make it ideas. It can be very, very deep. And like, we're more talking about kind of like the white lie implication. I will give an example. I had a dance teacher. I actually think I've talked about this on the podcast before. I had a dance teacher in college, Lillian she is like the CEO or creator, founder of Body Traffic, which is a contemporary dance company in LA. And when she moved to LA, she was taking a ballet class and she was dancing in the class, and the teacher came over to her after and she was like, wow, you're a really wonderful dancer, blah, blah, blah. Do you choreograph? And she just said yes. She had never choreographed professionally before. Like, she kind of like white lied her way into it. Like, she yes-and it. She was like, yes, I dance and I choreograph for sure. But like, it wasn't like the biggest lie. She wasn't like, do you have $12 million in the bank? And she was like, yes, I have $12 million in the bank. She was like, I'm a very good dancer. I will figure this out. I'm completely qualified to also choreograph. Do you see how that's like a white lie that like led into a good thing? Not like, yes, I can get you $12 million by tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Like, something more white lie will keep you in the mentality of achieving things, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. But falling into these deep, deep holes can be extremely hard to crawl out of. For example, I think we've all heard the Anna Delphi story at this point. Netflix show about Anna Delphi. She was this woman from Russia, Germany. I don't really remember. And she moved to America and she scammed everyone into believing that she was this like huge heiress of a European fortune. She was going to open a huge club like Soho House and whatnot. And she faked her way through buying very expensive clothing, staying at hotels for free because, you know, her dad was transferring the money and blah, blah, blah. Like, she actually literally fucked people over by being in debt for so many things. Yes, the mentality that she lived at was something hugely great. Like, she could have really done amazing things and maybe still will do amazing things with her ambition of thinking, no, I can do anything I want. But like, the level that she actually was doing things that were illegal and not helpful really bit her eventually in the ass. She spent jail time. Yes, she's pretty famous now because there's been a Netflix show about it and blah, blah, blah. But you get the point. She used that power kind of for bad because it caught up with her. But like, if she had just stuck with the mentality, she could have done a lot of good. Another person, ironically, weirdly connected to Anna Delphi, is Billy McFarland. He was the creator of Fyre Festival, which we all know absolutely fell apart. Yes, the mentality and his naivete made this thing happen, but obviously he had nothing to back it. And this festival fell completely apart and ruined his life, and he also went to jail. So these are the bad things of fake it till you make it. Now that I've talked about fake it till you make it in such a negative of light, I hope you can see that fake it till you make it should really be the part of you're already doing the damn thing. Like, let's apply it. Let's use scenarios here. So here's the healthy and effective way to apply fake it till you make it. First of all, whatever the thing is that you want to be faking it till you make it to, you can't just say, well, I want to be like a professional snowboarder and you're sitting on your couch eating Twinkies. You need to be doing the damn thing. Like, you have to be actively practicing, actively reading, actively training, at sharing your goals with people. Like, you can't just sit and imagine that one day someone's going to pick you and suddenly you will be this professional whatever. You have to be doing the thing. Make the only reason you haven't gotten that thing. You have to be so unbelievably fucking good at that one thing that the only reason you haven't actually gotten it yet is because you are just waiting for your one lucky shot. That is the only excuse on some level of why you don't have it. It's not because you're actually not good enough at it. It's not because you don't not believe in yourself enough. It's not because you are not emotionally, spiritually, whatever, not ready actually for your life to massively change. Make literally the only reason it hasn't happened is because you haven't had that one shot. And also, when you get to that point, I don't know if I've really been in this situation, but like, I think you are so wanting that thing to happen that you know that that one shot is the only thing missing from your package, portfolio, whatever is just that one right person, that one right opportunity. And like, you will know that you actually are that good, that complete, that strong enough. And that's how you know you can fake it till you make it, because you actually have so much supporting you and backing you up and time and work going into it that it's not phony. It's just the right opportunity hasn't happened yet. And maybe you need to throw yourself out of your comfort zone or act a little more bolder to make it happen. And another easy way to kind of sort of fake it till you make it and build the confidence of believing that you are ready or getting ready for it is take literally 5 seconds. That's all it takes. And say it out loud. Literally say like, I am blank, blank, or like, I will get $10 million. I don't know, whatever it is. Take those 5 seconds and just own it. Continue to say it. Think about it lightly often, but don't grip it so freaking hard. That needy, pushing the gas too hard energy is like not very attractive to people, and also is not conducive to you to being very open for opportunities. It just is very needy and can push people off. So say it out loud, take ownership of it, journal it in the corner of your notebook, type it out on your notes pad whenever you feel like it. And then the other thing you got to do to fake it till you make it is like, you never know who's going to be able to help you. You have to share the goal. I'm working on this and I'm in the process of that. That's something else too. You can't talk about yourself negatively. Like, you're not like, let's say you meet somebody, maybe it's not the dream person who's going to make it happen, but they're adjacent to someone and you're talking to them. They're like, okay, well, like, what are you doing? What are you working on? And you just say, well, like one day, like I really hope to like establish myself, and I've been, working towards it. No, you just need to be like, yes, I'm currently doing this, and then I'm going to do that. Like, I'm just blah, blah, blah. I'm already at the level of like, I'm waiting for my little catalyst spark, not like when this happens, then I'll do that. Actively be like, I'm in that space. I've heard some people say this with projects, and like, they think only like when they're shooting it or it's in the can, like then they should talk about it. And it's like, no, I'm actively auditioning for really big projects. Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter how big, how small, but like, you're actively in the thing. Like, not like, oh, well, I occasionally get auditions from time to time and like nothing too big yet. We don't need to know that piece of information. You don't need to also know that piece of information and kind of pull down the level that you think it is. So you have to talk about things like they're already in motion, and you have to share. And then this kind of goes back to a previous episode I talked about, but focus on the feeling of having it. Own the feeling of what you think it's going to take to be like that. Make your life fit it. Make it have space so it can show up. You have to make room for that fake it till you make it energy. And I think I also talked about this in the focus on the vision, not the goal, like episode. People are so much more likely to give you it when you confidently say something, not like, I think I used the brain surgery example. They're like, I think I'm ready to do my first brain surgery. Shut the fuck up. You were operating on nobody's fucking brain, but you're like, I'm ready to operate on somebody's brain. Lovely. I mean, still a little scary because brain surgery, but we get the point. We're using an extreme example, but like that kind of ownership is going to make a huge difference in how you see yourself and how other people see you, even seeing yourself being prepared for things. And I think this goes into this next point is the first person who needs to believe that you can fake it till you make it, or you can do it, is yourself. Nobody else is going to give you the I believe in you so you can. Nobody's got fucking time for that. We're all busy doing our own shit. We're all living our own story and our own lives. Nobody is going to be like, hey, Marley, I believe in you. So like now you can go do that thing successfully. That is like only shit that happens in Disney movies. Like there is no fairy godmother. So you have to fake it till you make it, and you are the person who has to eat that own lovely, gorgeous bullshit first, because until you believe it for yourself, nobody else is going to believe it. I would also like to take this time to talk a little bit about the humility and vulnerability and humbleness that needs to go with fake it till you make it. Nobody likes an arrogant asshole who thinks they are better than everybody fucking else. Like, we do not need that energy either. So like, and that also, you're not fun to be around. Remember, at one point you weren't in this place, or you're in this place in one area of your life and you're not like this in another place of your life. So like, have some grace. Always say thank you. Always say thank you, no matter if you agree with the compliment or the, criticism, whatever. Always say thank you. How much you let that sink in, that's on you. How much you want to give that space, fine. Give compliments when you think they are deserved. Nothing bothers me more than when people give fake compliments, like particularly in, we'll say, acting, when they're like, good job. And it wasn't a good job. And, they're kind of just saying it because like maybe you feel bad or they're trying to do something. That is the most worst thing you can do. There's nothing worse than a fake standing ovation. I personally believe there's nothing worse. We're doing that to take care of people's feelings and egos. So I am a strong, strong believer of only saying good job, or I really liked this, or I thought that was excellent, when you really, really fucking mean that. And that will also own into your fake it till you make it energy, because you will know that you are really putting in enough. It's the same honesty levels we're checking. You are checking your honesty levels of that I am that prepared. That was actually good. And if you start lying about it in different places of your life, it's going to bleed in. And remember, people are always growing. They're in different places where you were. You were not always in the same place. You will not always be in the same place. You can have fake it till you make it mentality for a long, long time. And then you could get very, very frustrated and can lose it. It's not a perfect, one day I gained completely fake it till you make it mentality, and the next day I have it again and again. You can get off of it. And I know that fake it till you make it is now a very Pinterest and Instagrammable term, but like, remember that there are levels of it too. It is not such just a meme we can all put under our Instagram bio that, will remind you every single day. It is not a perfect science by any means, but the point is, you do have the mentality, you do have the ability to be as prepared as you need to be, to wait for that one opportunity and just speak about yourself confidently. That's what I think fake it till you make it is. To summarize, fake it till you make it is what I just said, a mentality. Good, bad, left or right. Use it for good, not for evil. The benefits of faking it till you make it. You're pushing yourself out of your comfort yourself. Blech. We're going to take that back. The benefits of faking it till you make it. Pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Making yourself so prepared that the only reason you haven't gotten it yet is because you haven't been given your one lucky shot. Many very successful people at one point or another have used the idea of fake it till you make it. We're going to play some clips for you guys. So this is Zendaya talking about how she showed up to places when she knew she shouldn't have been there to kind of work on changing her image.
Yeah, like I would show up to shit I had no business being at just so I can get the look. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So me and Law,
So you were crashing parties and being like, I'm here.
And I was called for years. She was like, the seat filler. She just shows up to everything. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, but I look good though. So how about that? Still on the best dress list. So that kind of became my thing to like get out of people seeing me in a certain way. I would dress very well at things I didn't need to be at. And then my thing was like, now I have to prove that I need to be here and I deserve to be here. So then that's when it gets fun.
What a cheat code.
When you best dress and you deserve to be there.
Honestly, such a great clip. And I think it comes back to the idea of she was going to prove it, though. She wasn't like, I'm faking it to make it by being here, but like, I've got a lot to prove. It's just setting up that confidence, getting us in the mentality. And to close this out, we are going to leave with a clip from Riri talking about how you don't always have it. And that is just the most important part, is faking it till you make it.
What do you do on those days that you don't feel that confident or fearless or powerful like you did out there?
Pretend.
Fake it?
Yeah.
Until we make it?
I mean, why not? It's either that or cry myself to sleep. Who wants to do that? You wake up with puffy eyes the next day. That's a waste of tears.
I think what she is saying there is like, there's no point to not go for it and not fake it till you make it. So in that note, go out there, take a little bit of fake it till you make it mentality, push yourself out of your comfort zone. Guys, thank you so much for listening to Confessions of a Wannabe It Girl, the Fake It Till You Make It episode, low-key, the bumper sticker to this podcast. If you like this episode, please go ahead and share it with a friend. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find your podcasts. We'll see you next Tuesday.
So, you want to be an it girl?